people that are actually using these techniques. Most of the multimillionaires in the world are using them, even if they don't know it. Okay? Any question about any of this? Let's talk about one of the, let's go ahead and get into practicing. How many of you have been, this is a little bit of a review for you guys from last week. How many of you have been in a situation where you've wanted to be a better conversationalist? By show of hands. Right? Okay, so let's quickly go. This is a review for everyone from last week, but let's go through it real quick. I want to develop 3 fundamentals in how to be a better conversationalist, and I'm going to need some help with a volunteer. Okay, so who wants to volunteer? Randy? Randy wants to volunteer? Do you? Okay, come on in. Let's welcome Randy up. Okay, go ahead right here. Okay, good to see you. What I'm going to do is give you 2 examples. Tell me which one is better and why. Okay. Hi, Randy, Tim?
Hi. Randy.
Hi. What do you do for a living?
Photographer.
Photographer. How did you get involved in that?
By fate.
By fate, really? Tell me more about it.
When I first came to town, I was looking for a job, and actually in the paper I saw
Are you comfortable? You saw what? I'm sorry.
I thought it was for a modeling position.
Really? You want to be a model?
Back then, I was just going with some of the gifts and talents that God had given me.
And then what happened?
I found out that it was for a show photographer down on the Strip.
Really? Okay. Down on the Strip?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's good talking with you.
Chihuahua.
Stay up here.
Okay.
Okay. So how was that?
That's terrible.
Bad.
Horrible.
Now, have any of you had that situation happen to you?
Oh.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Have any of you might know that situation personally? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, I'm going to give you the second example. Tell me which one is better and why. Randy, Tim Zimmerman,
Randy.
nice to meet you.
You too.
So tell me how you got involved in photography again?
I was looking for a job, and I looked in the paper, and I found this job application, and I went down and applied for it. It was for a modeling position, and through that I found out it was for a photographer instead of the model.
Oh, and how long have you been doing it?
30 years.
30 years. So you must like it.
I do.
What do you like most about it?
The freedom to be who I am, to express my gifts and talents, and an expression of creativity.
Okay. All right.
And people, connecting people.
All right, great. And I'm sure we could talk more about that.
We
Okay.
could.
Okay,
All right.
great. Thanks so much. Go ahead and go back. Okay, let's give her some appreciation. So again, which example was better? Second. Why?
You're paying attention to her.
I was paying attention to her.
Interacted with her.
I interacted with her. I did what? I was engaged. What was the real difference? I acknowledged her. How many of you have been in situations where you're talking to someone and they're texting 3 people at the same time? Right? It happens a lot, especially nowadays. But the real principle is to be a good what? To be a good listener. And in being a good listener, what do you need to do?
Pay attention. Stop talking quietly.
What do you have to? What's the first thing you need to do?
Acknowledge what they say.
Is to look at that person, right? Not at the phone, not at people that are walking in, right? To give that person attention. If we're talking about body language, when you're talking with someone, if someone's here, do you want your body this way if they're right here? No. Do you want it this way? You're talking over your shoulder. No. You want to be looking at the person, facing them, right? What else do you need to do?
Ask engaging questions.
Ask engaging questions, but under being a good listener, we also need to, do we just look at them?
No, acknowledge.
Acknowledge in what way? How about visually? give them visual approval, and the other is what? Verbal approval. In today's day and age of dropped calls, even a grunt would do, right? Just to let them know that you're on the phone with them. So let's develop the second fundamental. And again, I need a volunteer. And Jacob's going to volunteer. Let's welcome Jacob up. And again, I'm going to give you 2 examples. Tell me which one is better and why. Jacob?
Hey, how you
Hi,
doing?
Tim. Nice to meet
Good
you.
to meet you, Tim.
How's your day going?
Good.
How's work going?
Pretty good.
How's your car?
It's all right. It burns too much gas, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. Yeah. Gas prices are high.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you enjoying the weather?
Little too windy for me,
Yeah.
but otherwise it's nice.
Yeah. And everything else is going good? Family's going good?
Yeah, definitely. Everybody's well.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Good to see you.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Now, how many of you have been in that situation? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Is that a great conversation or what?
It's not a conversation.
Okay. Again, I'll give you the second example. Tell me which one is better and why. Jacob, Tim,
Tim.
Zimmerman. Hi. Nice to see
How
you.
you doing?
I was wondering, whereabouts do you live?
Over in Henderson, off Southeastern.
Okay. And do you work in the same area?
No, I do sales right now, so I work all over the valley.
Oh, you do? Okay. What type of goals do you have with work?
Right now, I have some specific personal financial goals, and then some material goals for a vehicle, and also some personal health goals.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with your work, do you get a chance to travel at all, or do you do any traveling?
As far as like vacation type travel,
Yeah.
or no, not usually, not as much certainly as I'd like to.
Okay. So do you have hobbies then besides work, or do you just focus on work?
I do. Sometimes they've fallen behind a little bit, but I usually keep up with. I like to be out in nature and stay fit, so I do hiking and some cycling.
Okay.
But I'd like to do a little more. of that.
Okay. All right. And what are your ideas about this new job act that came into fruition? Are you familiar with it at all?
The Job Act?
Yeah.
No, I'm not so familiar with that.
Okay. And we could probably talk more about that.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Sounds great.
Thanks so much. Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you.
All right. Let's give them some appreciation. Okay. So which example was better?
Second.
Why?
Because you got personal.
Got personal.
You engaged
You asked the
with the
right
right questions.
I engaged, asked questions. What did I do? Did I ask questions in both examples?
You did, but you went deeper. It was more intimate, right?
I went deeper. So it's not so much that I asked questions, it was,
It wasn't random.
right, it was, right.
There was more emotion involved.
I asked specific questions. In other words, the fundamental is to ask the right kinds of questions. Now, what were the questions that I asked? The first one was his name, right? And then I asked what? Where he lived, and then what? Where he worked, and then the goals, and if he got a chance to travel, and some hobbies, and what his idea was in regards to the Job Act. Okay? So again, the fundamental isn't to just ask any kinds of questions, it's asking the right kinds of questions, especially when we're looking at specific questions for work, for qualifying someone in our job, whether it be in real estate or for any other type of sale. We need to ask the right kinds of questions to find out what. What are we really looking for in those questions? In sales, we're really looking for their needs. We ourselves want to find what? Their two situations. Their current as is, and there could be, should be, in regards to what? In regards to our product, in regards to our services, right? And we'll talk about this in the second half a little bit more. But again, if we can find out these two situations and then show them a plan of action for them to get where they are now to where they want to be or where they should be, what happens with the sale? Is it smoother or less smooth? It goes smoother. They're more motivated to do that. Okay? So let's talk for a minute about memory. How many of you are good with memory of names? By show of hands. Just a few of you. How many of you could use help with memory? Most everyone. Okay, so let's look at memory real quick. There's 3 fundamentals to memory. And those fundamentals are impression, repetition, and association. What does impression mean? What does impression mean?
Your idea of what
Who they are.
visual impression? You talk about visual impression of them?
Right. With impression, what we're talking about is that the mind thinks in pictures. If I said the word house, what do you guys think of? House. If I said the word elephant, what do you think of? Think of an elephant, right? Maybe at a circus or, maybe one that you saw. What I want to do is give you an example of this, and I want you to put your pens down. So don't worry about, we're going to be doing an example of how to remember. And Kim, how are you doing back there? Good. Okay, so I'm going to stack a bunch of silly, goofy objects, one on top of each other, and I just want you to picture them in your mind's eye. The first object, everyone, is a walnut nameplate, and it has your name on it, Y-O-U-R-N-A-M-E. On top of that, I slam a red brick house and scratch it up. Looking out of the windows of the house are children. Coming out of the chimney of the house is a white work glove. We know it's a work glove because it has soot on it. And in the fingers, it has P's, the letter P. So we have 3 P's, a happy face and a sad face. That work glove is grabbing onto a gold goalpost, and it's in the form of a Y. Stuck on the side of the goalpost is a gray 747 jet, but instead of jet engines, we have wooden Wilson tennis racket propellers, and screwed into the middle of that is a pink 13.5 watt light bulb. Okay, you guys all remember that?
Yeah.
How about over here? Yes? No? Okay, let's go through it. I want you to mouth. This is, again, a little bit of a question.
I couldn't remember what the P stood for.
I'll go through it. Okay. Again, it's a little bit of a review for last week, and we're going to get into other things in just a minute, okay? So I appreciate you guys' patience. And it's good to review it too, right? So in your mind's eye, again, everyone, the first object is what? It's a walnut nameplate. And when I ask you that, if you can mouth it, then I'll make sure that you have it, okay? Because I'll continue to do this until I know everyone has it. Is that fair? Okay. So the first object, everyone, is a walnut nameplate. Then on top of that, we have a red brick house. What's looking out of the windows? Children. Coming out of the chimney of the house is a white work glove. We know it's a work glove because it has soot on it. What's in its fingers? 3 P's and a happy face and a sad face. And that's holding on to a goalpost. In one of the sides of the goalpost is stuck a 747. It's kind of rocking it back and forth. What color is a 747? Gray. Instead of propellers, we have what? Tennis rackets. What color are they? Brown, because they're wood, right? And screwed into the middle is a pink How many watts? 13.5 watt light bulb, right? Everyone have that again? Okay, let's go through it one more time. First object, everyone, is what? Walnut nameplate. What's the next object, Kim? Red brick house. Coming out of the chimney of house is a white work glove. And what's it holding? Goalpost. What color is it? Gold. Jameson? What color is it? Gold. What color is gold? Yellow. Right. Stuck in the goalpost is what? 747. Instead of propellers, we have tennis rackets, and then screwed into the middle of that is 13.5 watt light bulb. What color is it? Pink. Pink. 747 is great. Right. Who's got it on this side? Does everyone have it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so one of the things if you guys don't have it anytime, please let me know. Because I don't know what's going through your mind unless I see you mouth it, okay? So, everyone has it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, who has it on this side? Steve?
Yeah.
Steve, let's give Steve some appreciation. Let's go through it. The first object, everyone, pay attention, make sure you get it right. First object is a
walnut nameplate.
nameplate. It has what on it?
A red brick house.
Red brick house. Coming out of the chimney is a
White work glove.
brick glove, and it's got the
And it's 3 P's on it.
3 Ps and a-
happy face and a sad face.
right, and it's holding on to a
A golden gold post.
okay. Stuck in one side is a
A gray 747.
okay, and instead of propellers, we have the
Wooden Wilson tennis rackets.
and screwed into the middle is a
The 13.5 peak light bulb.
all right.
Watt.
Okay. Yes. How do we know? Because we remember it. How come you guys didn't raise your hands to volunteer?
They were afraid.
They were afraid. Who wants to do it on this side? Paul does. Let's give Paul some appreciation. And Paul, we're going to do it backwards. Backwards. So the first object backwards is a,
Pink 13.5 watt light bulb
and that's screwed
stuck
into,
into wooden Wilson tennis rackets.
which is attached to a,
Gray 747
right,
to a goal post
Okay.
stuck on the right
right.
side.
And that's being held on to by,
White work glove,
coming out of a,
red brick house.
okay,
chimney.
and the work glove has what on it?
It has 3 P's, a happy face and a sad face.
Okay. And that's coming out of
The chimney of the red brick house with
Right.
kids in the window.
and that's slammed into
A walnut nameplate with your name on it.
okay. Great. Right. So what?
That's the first thing I've remembered in 10 years.
First thing she remembered in 10 years. You know it forwards and backwards, so what? What's the reason for it?
You were focusing on it.
Repetition.
Repetition? We did impression, right? This impressed? Right? You had this impressed in your mind? Yes or no?
Yeah.
We repeated it enough